I forgive you for not being able to love me the way I needed to be loved. Because that pushed me for me to love me that way. Hello beautifuls, my name is Giselle, co-host of the Strong Sunflowers podcast and founder of GS for Growth. In today's video, we're going to talk about things I wish I could tell my mom this Mother's Day, and the video hasn't even started and I'm already crying, so let's just jump right into it. As you guys know, I'm originally from Cuba and I was born and raised in the island. I'd like to say I came to the United States when I was 6 years old, and a 6-year-old Cuban is like a 12-year-old in American years. And Mom, we were so close. You and I, we were so close. My mom would take me everywhere. She would take me to go play dominoes, and I remember she would play and all the kids would just go out and like we would go around the block and just play hide and seek and all these things. Mom, you also had me when you were really young. I was born in 1995, exactly 20 years. You were born in 1975. I know you don't like me to tell people your age, but I know it must have been really hard for you. And even getting ready to make this video, it made me think of like, my grandfather left when you were really young. You were like 10 when he left to the United States, and it made me think of my own story, right? I left Cuba and I left my dad there. I didn't get to see him for like 5 to 6 years after we left the island. So as May is also Mental Health Awareness Month, I've been learning a lot about what words really mean. And one of the words that I've been learning about is betrayal. And betrayal really means just brokenness of trust. And I think that's really what happened here. But if I can get us back to the beginning of like, what has hurt me throughout the years. I think growing up, I feel like our household was very comparison based, and when I was really younger, like 5, 6, I remember you would always compare me to the other kids. I was always like a loud and opinionated kid, and that was always seen as disrespectful. And I remember you would always be like, why can't you be more like so-and-so's daughter, so-and-so's son? You know, I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I knew that you loved me from a very young age. I knew that you loved me, but I always felt like I wasn't good enough. And I remember if I ever told you that someone was bullying me at school, I remember like you would show up and you would fight with a 10-year-old. So, or a 6-year-old, you didn't care. So I know that you showed me love through the big things. So when I was younger, I was like, my mom loves me because she shows up when it matters. I feel like that sense of not feeling good enough helped me push into just doing the best that I could. And I remember, and I would come to you so excited when I would get a 95 on my test, and you would just say, oh, great, why didn't you get 100? So it was very dismissive. And again, I feel like that definitely pushed me to do better. But I remember the more it happened, the more I didn't want to come to you when I had great things happen in my life, because you didn't celebrate me. I was never good enough, and all I've ever wanted was to make you proud. I think when we move forward to 13, 14-year-old Giselle, I feel like I was still that loud kid. I was still bold and opinionated, and I'm so thankful that never has gone anywhere. But I remember when you put me in Barbizon modeling school, because you were like, hey, you're beautiful, we need to get some money from you, right? And I remember I did horrible on the last runway. Like, I was just so shy. Trash work. And you and Grandpa told me trash work. And I was like, I remember going home and I'm like, how can I not be more shy? What can I do again to make you proud? And I remember I joined everything. I joined theater, I joined choir, I joined dance, I joined all the things that would put me on stage so I could work on my shyness and my stage presence. And I feel like in that time of my life, now we're in high school, right? I feel like I was doing all these things, but again, you weren't showing up for me the way that I needed you to show up for me. Because I would have like a theater production or a play that I was a part of for choir. And I remember the feeling of being the only kid that their parents wasn't there. And maybe I wasn't the only kid, but it sure as hell felt like it. These were proud moments that I wanted to share with you, but didn't have the opportunity to. And it felt really fucking shitty when these kids would have like one line in the whole play and their parents would just show up and literally have flowers just like so freaking proud. And I remember one time I had a play and you were like, well, I'm not going to go pick you up, so you better figure it out. So instead of celebrating with everybody at the end of the play and being congratulated, but the people that you love or our parents, I was trying to find a ride. I was trying to find a ride home. It's like, hey, so-and-so's mom, can you drop me off home? Because I don't have a ride. And again, these are things that going back, I can see that they hurt me. But again, my mom shows up when it matters, right? So I let it go. I'm like, it's fine, she's busy. She might be doing other things. Fast forward to me getting married. If you guys don't know, I get married at 19. I'm really young. I get married to my first boyfriend. I would love to watch Say Yes to the Dress. I am a crier. I was so excited to have these experiences with my mom. I remember that you said that you were paying for my wedding dress. And you ended up not. And you ended up not even talking to me about it. It wasn't even a topic of conversation. And I remember, I don't know how I got to this, but I remember being in David's bridal in Tampa, Florida, with my friend Andres, wedding shopping for my dress. I wanted to be with my mom. I wanted you to be there. This was a big moment for me. And you weren't there. And I was like, okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I get married. I was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or the Mormons. I had a wedding at the temple, and I had a wedding where everybody else could go. I know that my mom was always late for things. But on my wedding day, I don't know, as a girl, you still always want your mom. So I was so excited to walk through those doors. And even though my expectations weren't high, I was looking for you. I was so excited to see you. And you weren't there. And then I had to, again, cover it up in my mind. I'm like, it's okay, Giselle, you're used to this. Your mom doesn't show up for these kinds of things, right? It's okay, she still fucking loves you. I had another wedding, right? The outside of the temple wedding. You were also late for that. You made my brother late. He was a flower boy or whatever. We didn't even get to do that. Do the rings. And my husband's family was so supportive. My ex-husband's family, so supportive. And at least I had them to guide me through those things. Fast forward to me being married. I was starting college too. I was a pre-med student. I was working full-time. You didn't even help me move. My ex-husband's mom literally moved everything for us, set up the apartment with even detergent, washer, towels, literally everything. So thankful for her. Always will be thankful for her. And I don't even think that was the most hurtful part. I think the most hurtful part was you didn't even come visit me after I moved out of your house at 19. And everything was so new. And now I'm someone's wife. I'm going to college as first generation Latina. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I needed my mom. And you weren't there. Oh, shit. You didn't come to my house to visit me after 2 years. 2 years. Now we fast forward. And all throughout this, I was so like, my mom loves me. She cares about me. I know she shows it in a different way, but deep down, I know she cares, right? Fast forward to, I get a divorce. And divorce was one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. And for the most part, my ex-husband paid for the big bills. So now I made this decision of getting divorced. And I'm 23, 24. I don't even have enough money to live or to stay somewhere. You told me I can live with you. I don't even know how much money I was making a week back then. Maybe like $300 a week. Not even. I definitely couldn't afford rent. And I remember I came to your house. You said I could move in. And you said you can stay in this room for $700. I was like, I can't afford $700. And then you were like, okay, well, you can just pay $400. And I remember I was working my ass off just to be able to pay those $400 and also pay my car and my insurance and all the other stuff. Plus, I'm emotionally falling apart from my marriage. For me, what really pushed me off the edge was when you asked me to co-sign on something and I said no. And I was still living at your house, trying to figure out my own shit. And you said something about me not being supportive. And I said, I am supportive. I'm just not supporting you the way you want me to support you. I can't co-sign on a house for you. And I will never forget this day. This is during the COVID pandemic. This is 2020. You got so mad that I spoke up for myself. And I said, hey, I am not a bad person because I'm not doing this for you. And you got so angry that you got in my face and you wanted to fight me. You were like, let's take this outside. You're so disrespectful. again, kind of bringing me back to my childhood of, you can't speak up because it's disrespectful, but I am an adult and I have an opinion, and my opinion matters. You got in my face. I can still remember it till this day. I was shaking. You got in my face and you were like, let's go outside. And I was like, disrespectful would be fighting my mom. Are you crazy? Like, if you want to hit me, you can hit me. But I'm not going to hit my mom. Are you crazy? I was so angry. I was shaken. And I grabbed all the shit that I had in your room, right? Because it wasn't my house. It was your house, right? I grabbed all my stuff and I put it in my small ass little Toyota. Everything and anything I could fit in there. And I fucking left. And this was during the pandemic. You never called me. You never asked me. I mean, you never called, so how would you know if I'm eating, if I'm okay, if I'm fucking dying from COVID? Where I'm living? It's been fucking 4 years and you still don't know where I live. It's been 4 years and you still don't acknowledge any of it. I think for me, that was a breaking point of like, I'm at my lowest and my mom wants to fight me. Great, right? I'm at my lowest. And for 4 years, my mom, you never called, nothing. And I think that's where the word betrayal comes from, because I felt betrayed to my core. I think a couple of months ago, this lady came in and she had like these bagels, and she literally reminded me so much of you. And I'm in the fucking restaurant and I'm like, you remind me so much of my mom. Can I get a hug? And I'm just crying. Ooh, I'm just crying in this lady's arms at the middle of the restaurant. I think what I've done to heal has been, from a very young age, I love to read. Being the black sheep does that to you. So I would read a lot of like personal development books. How can I be better? How can I improve my mindset? And I think the best thing that I could have done was go to therapy. Therapy helped me figure out more about you, to understand that you didn't have a mom figure that took care of you the way that you needed, that you felt alone. Because growing up, I felt like you wanted me to be your mom, but I needed you to be my mom. I think I woke up literally last week and I was like, why am I upset at my mom? And then I was like, oh shit, there's a lot of reasons that I'm upset, but I just don't care anymore. I feel like I'm at a space of forgiveness. So I just want to tell you, I forgive you. I know you didn't have a mom that helped you learn how to be a mom. I forgive you. I know that you were really young when you had me and you had your own goals and your own dreams and you were still trying to figure it out too. I forgive you for not being able to love me the way I needed to be loved, because that pushed me for me to love me that way. I love you. But for any of you guys that are out there, that you have a loved one, a parent, that you need to say some things to, that you need to heal from and forgive, I highly encourage you guys to write it down, make a video, say it out loud, whatever you want to do. It's so healing. And at the end of the day, forgiveness is not for them, it's for us. But happy Mother's Day. I love you guys. Thank you for creating a safe space for me. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.